Hey.
Yes, extraordinary director.
Thank you, director.
Producer director.
We'll continue laughing for you. He has mentioned it early enough so that we can forget.
That's true.
Yes, it's 29th. By then we will not remember.
Yeah. But this year is that 29th?
29th of what?
February.
29th of February.
Yes.
Oh, really? You were born in a leap year?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think.
Once in every 4 years, the man celebrates birthday.
I don't think you deserve an annual celebration.
So
Yeah.
what would they do if it's your birthday 29th?
So
of
he
February?
chooses whether
Just wait.
he will
Yeah.
28th
You
or
can
the
celebrate it
1st.
on the 1st of March.
Yeah, because you can't celebrate on the 28th. You were not born on the 28th.
Oh.
You were not born on the 1st.
Charlie, but that's some way.
You were born on platform 9 3/4. Those who read Harry Potter will know what I'm talking about. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Miss G is at home. Yes, Miss G is at home.
What's the criteria?
You are rather well dressed. Okay. Anyway, where are we and where
Our
were we?
Drive Safe campaign
Let's do it.
is brought to us by Joe News and Multimedia Group, supported by Imperial General Assurance. Solid protection. Please avoid all distractions. Keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Please drive safe.
All right. And please say it right. We've allowed it to be possible thanks to Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Something must be done. You say either. I say either.
I think it's time for another uncommon word, don't you? Try this one. Skedaddle. What a fun word. Skedaddle. Skedaddle. A verb which means to leave quickly or to run away. Skedaddle has lots of fun synonyms like scat, dash, blow, vamoose, whiz, zip, hightail. It really is a colorful word, with a colorful past too. Skedaddle is believed to be one of America's contributions to the English language, and its first recorded use was during the Civil War back in 1861. So, how would you use skedaddle in a sentence? Allow me to demonstrate. This has been fun, but the news review is up next, so it's time to skedaddle. That's how you say it right. Skedaddle. All right, time for us to get into the papers. News review brought to us this morning by Enterprise Insurance, Woodye Wumu Motor Promotion. Enterprise, your advantage. But before we get in there, guys, did you catch the vetting yesterday in Parliament?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Katie Hammond.
Did they start with Katie Hammond?
Yes,
he was the first.
I know, he was the first.
So, well, that's why Mark Twain said that if your job is to eat a frog, eat it first thing in the morning. And if your job is to eat 2 frogs, eat the bigger one first. So they put the bigger one in front of them first thing in the morning. This is a little bit of how it all went.
Introduce me as being the class prefect, the senior prefect. I would expect members to put up their best behavior. I will put up my very best behavior, and then we'll get into that. I am the class prefect in the chair, so I still remain the class prefect. So it should be well behaved. No, it's not straight yes. You've known me for many, many years. I joke a lot. People think that all I do is joke and all of that. I believe in proper human relationship. What I can't stand is when consciously somebody tries to play diabolics with me. I can't stand it. So that is what has ignited this in me. When we started Chief Whip, I was laughing. He warned me it's national television. I shouldn't joke and all that. I think that life is too short. We shouldn't be so serious about everything. That is why I always am laughing. My relationship with people is solid. I believe in it. But nobody plays games with me. What the honorable member tried to do was not fair. I'm prepared to tone down my language. Every single thing that he said was not in the report. Every single thing he said was not in the...
Yeah.
Thank you. I would contain my temperament and then I would relate beautifully with everybody.
That's the assurance I was waiting.
It was definitely an event.
Guys, this whole vetting thing, is it the same seriousness you attach to it when you're going for a job interview. It's a job interview, isn't it? I mean, and at some point it was too distractive for me. At some point, the committee members, the chair had to ask Katie Hammond to pay attention and not get distracted by other people. I mean, it was a bit messy at some point, and I was like, if this was like this is a proper job interview. It should be serious.
Oh no, it's not really a proper job interview. One, the people don't take their job that serious. Two, but we know that.
Obvious.
And you see, when you're also a member of parliament, it's a different level. They treat you quite in a different way. Thirdly, we all know that this is Comrade Tahiru Hammond, the man who recently said that some people have left a lot of beard. There's no sense in their head.
That question came up
again
yesterday.
In all fairness, this is the man who co-chaired and some think that this is consolation for doing a wonderful job as co-chair of the removal process. What was it? The censure committee. And if you break it down, we are not in any urgent or serious situation. Sometimes I think it's the people that think that they are in an urgent situation. The leaders do not feel that this is any serious practice. Some of them will take it serious. One or two members will actually treat it with the urgency that's required and treat it like we are putting people in perhaps one of the biggest positions in this country. So we look for the most qualified, the best of our people to be there. But that's not the process they think they are contributing to. Because at the end of the day, listen, the minority, even before they went there, they were told that we are going to disapprove of the people there, no matter what they say. That's the first thing. Yeah. On the other side, virtually everybody on the majority side is going to say yes to him, whether they like or whether he performs poorly. We had in this country a woman who did not even know aquaculture become a fisheries industry minister.
Look,
and it was fine. She had the highest vote when you voted in the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe you can laugh with it, but it's not really a very serious process.
Personally, I like colorful characters. I have nothing against Katie Hammond. He makes me laugh, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, especially if you're able to do a good job alongside it. Okay, that is to be seen since he is now being vetted for a position of this nature. How the interviews, as Mamavi describes them, how they went, doesn't surprise me either. The truth is, you can joke with things that you don't take seriously. And members of parliament have not historically demonstrated that they take their role seriously. I don't think members of parliament actually believe that what they do makes a difference in the grand scheme of things. I think they believe that everything is done at the executive. Their job is to just rubber stamp things, or just, on general principle, oppose things. I don't think they really see themselves as agents of our development. I don't think so. If they did, maybe their attitude would be different to exercises like this. But if you yourself don't think that you are capable of making that much of a contribution, how seriously will you take such things?
I get your point. Anyway, now you're starting with the Daily Graphic, or I should do Ghanaian Times?
I don't mind. I could do the Daily Graphic. There's a story here that listeners will not like. I don't like it. Pantan Hospital owes 2.8 million Ghana cedis to 25 suppliers. Oh, God. So normally it's patients, right? Clients that we see rise up against hospitals and accuse them of not providing good services. But this time the suppliers are up in arms, really. And the paper gives names of some of those that the hospital owes. But this 2.8 million is what the facility owes. It has compelled some of the hospital's most reliable and loyal suppliers to cease their services since last year, while others are threatening to institute legal action to force the hospital to settle its indebtedness. So checks conducted by the Daily Graphic following concerns raised by some of the affected suppliers indicated that the hospital was indebted to about 25 suppliers, including some big names such as Goyle, there's Maslock, Alliance Waste Limited, that's waste, refuse collection. They're unable to pay, they owe. Auto Clinic and 2D Laboratory, followed the inability of the government to release the full budgetary allocation for the health facility. So, for instance, the paper quotes that only 700,000 Ghana cedis out of the 2.3 million budgetary allocation for last year to run and execute its strategic plan was giving out. And when they contacted the Ministry of Health, they said they should write to the Finance Ministry.
So, when are we going to realize that the way we treat mental health has started to show in our behavior as a nation? When are we going to realize it? Let's be clear. Let's be clear. We are not making rational decisions. We are not. Look, it was in 2016 that Nanaba and I paid a visit to the psychiatric hospital at North Accra Psychiatric Hospital. And the director told us a horrible story. That they had been impressed upon. First of all, the system impresses upon mental facilities, mental health care facilities, to present lower budgets every year.
Yeah.
Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. There's no money. So that year, 2016, for the entire year to operate a hospital with over 100 patients, most of them permanent, to operate it for 1 year, do you know how much money they asked for? 5 million cedis. 5 million Ghana cedis. Do you know how much they were given? 500,000 Ghana cedis. So why would they not owe? Why would they not owe? And it was embarrassing to them that they've been taking things on credit. People think, oh, they are buying, so they give them things on credit. And then businesses are collapsing because they're not getting their money. They're supplying all kinds of things, food, medication, to these institutions just so they can run.
It's a miracle that they are still open, really, to the public and given some sort of services.
But ask yourself, what's happening to the private companies that are also supplying them? What's happening to them? As a nation, we act as if mental health is a luxury. Only rich people can have mental illness. Really? Really? Just take a look at any of the decisions we are making. Just take a look at the things we are prioritizing over human lives. Just take a look at the hole we have dug in the center of our city because we have to build a cathedral. And tell me whether or not we should be spending a bit more money on the things that will make us healthier.
Well, let's stay with health. There's a warning coming from the Environmental Protection Agency. The agency has asked the public to start putting on nose masks and also restricts the patronage of outdoor events to prevent health risk associated with air pollution. This is also because of the warning given by the Ghana Meteorological Agency about the dirty waves coming in from other countries into Ghana.
Oh, so it's not of our making. The quality of air situation we are facing in Ghana is of the making of other countries.
Oh, it came from somewhere. So the wind blew, at least from the statement that I read from Meteo, and that's why we're experiencing what we're experiencing. They predict that this should go down a little bit over the weekend. Yeah, so it's going to get better. But in the meantime,
a malevolent force.
High dusty weather. I recall that Professor S.A.J. Mensah did his inaugural lecture comparing the air quality in areas like East Legon, McCarthy Hills to other areas like Choko also and Nima, and the revelations, right? I mean, there are some places that when you live in the Republic of Ghana, your life, how long you live on this earth, is reduced significantly because of the poor quality of air in these areas. But we are not fixing it, right? We are not so much interested in, because have you ever followed a car and the carbon monoxide from the exhaust pipe,
you start smelling it in your own car?
Yes. And you just be wondering, so how does anybody get to follow this for like 15-20 minutes? And how about those with conditions that can make them stand in situations like this? Well,
okay, but the EPA is also saying that the situation has been aggravated by some of the things that we do.
Oh, yes, of course. Anyway, now the Ghanaian Times is reporting this morning, illegal installation of new Bokonaba, tension mounts in Naliregu, attempts to arrest Mampugo overlord, kingmakers has for youth go on rampage, destroy property. There's another story about DDEP. It's not a panacea for restoration of broken economy. This is Dr. Kwamina Dufour telling the people of this republic, especially the government of the republic. Of course, government says DDEP is to make us debt sustainable so that we can get an IMF deal. And luckily, we'll be able to weather the storm small. As for we having an economy that is buoyant, strong, and with the right fundamentals, That conversation has not happened yet, and I'm just looking forward to it in the nearest future.
We stopped talking about fundamentals. I haven't heard it in a while.
No, because everybody knows where the fundamentals. The reality is obvious anyway. Drillship saga. You are talking about Katie Amon. I did nothing wrong. Katie Amon is refuting the allegation. Says he saved the Republic money, and there's one about made in emergency life-saving skills training underway in Kumasi, and the EPA warning is also one of the stories the Ghanaian Times reporting this morning.
The Daily Guide now. You can't arrest Nayiri Mamprugu youth cry out on after implementation. Adopt APD's action compact. NDC NPP fights over new ministers. GRA SML Ghana unite to meet revenue targets. And Wele intestines import cost $165 million annually. That's one of those moments when Katie Hammond appeared before the vetting committee.
I mean, as for the import of Wele, look, intestines have some what's it called, nutritional value, but Wele doesn't. Wele has zero nutritional value. Zero. So you are basically chewing leather for the sake of it. And we are spending 100 million to bring it in.
Charlie, what is watching without Willie?
It's still watching. The Wele is adding nothing except a bit of jaw exercise. It's nothing. There's no taste. In fact, it doesn't even have taste. It just soaks up the taste
soft
of the
Willie.
So it's still Willie.
No, we are not taking this nutrition advice. I'm listening to you, Kili
Mamavi. The stew. That's what you are tasting, the stew. So if you like the taste, eat the stew.
Okay. Kojo, we have heard you. Now, the graphic business is reported this morning. Yes. No dividend for bank shareholders. DDEP erodes profit. And there's one government to pay coupons on mature domestic bonds. Asset declaration law is shielding corrupt public officers. This conversation we've had. Yeah.
Oh, just quickly on this one. So we know the NDC wants government to cut down, but now they're giving specific numbers. So they want the ministers from the current 86 to go down to 65, and they are asking also for ministries, for instance, information and communication to be merged, transport and railway, chieftaincy and tourism, sanitation and local government as well. So a bit of details in terms of exactly why they don't want their members on the vetting committee to jointly approve the ministers with the members on the other side.
Now, maybe the final is reporting this morning. Broader consultation ongoing to fix date for MPP primaries. That's the national chairman of the MPP. And 4,000, because of what we discussed yesterday, 4,432 free SHS placement complaints have been resolved. This is the deputy coordinator in charge of the program. And foreign trips will not be approved if plans are not submitted as directed. This is the chief of staff's office making it clear to people.
Shall we go online?
Yeah.
Let's do it. And it's brought to us this morning by Zenith Bank, in your best interest, and Goyle, good energy. I am opposed to same-sex marriage. Religious Affairs Minister designate is the one saying that. But before we learn more.
Oh, just remember, if you don't have cash, don't worry. If you're buying fuel, just drive to Goyle. You can use your bank card. You can use the Goyle card as well. And good news, you can Momo it. So wherever you go, Goyle, just Momo it. Goyle, good energy, Goyle. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yes, you would expect that to be a question that would come up in the vetting of the Religious Affairs Minister. Soldiers clash with Nalerigu youth in attempt to arrest illegally skinned, in quotes, Boko Naba and Mamprugu overlord. 3 dead, 600 injured after new earthquake hits Hatay in Turkey. Goodness, it's so worrying. Turkey and Syria bearing the brunt of those. All right. Ghana to engage China for possible debt cancellation. Yep. And once they achieve it, they'll call it a success. That's the irony. Okay, magnitude 6.3 aftershock strikes southern Turkey, killing 3 and injuring hundreds. 2 weeks after massive quake killed thousands. Yeah, our hearts and thoughts are with them. Time now for the BBC News, brought to us this morning by Fidelity.